All right, I got another one for you guys. Going to talk about Tomb Raider Remastered for a little bit. Go into some of the reviews and the player counts now that we've been in this game for about a half a month now. I just wanted to get into some of the nitty gritty and go over some of that. Certainly one of the best remasters that I've seen in recent years. The only other one I can think of is like Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered. That was a very faithful adaptation, and likewise this was as well. So it just goes to show you that, you know, when you remaster a game and you remain faithful to the original stories and remain faithful to the original games, you get rewarded for it. And you know, there's no monkeying with the story or monkeying with the mechanics or monkeying with the, you know, censoring things or what have you. It's just a faithful readaptation of the first three games. Just what people wanted, exactly what they wanted. No frills, no nothing. Very good implementation, and they got rewarded for it. It was very well sold and very highly reviewed on Steam. Obviously, Steam is not the primary platform for this. They didn't even really advertise too terribly much on Steam, so you can kind of extrapolate that the Steam numbers are probably the lower of the group, with you know, consoles being the majority stake of this, and probably the Switch being quite a huge chunk of it, just because the Switch, it was a big announcement on Switch. It was a big deal on Switch, I remember seeing. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I got. I'm just going to go through the reviews and then get into the player counts, and just kind of keep that in mind when we go to the player counts, because they're not great. But again, that's because I think most people are playing this on console. So let's just jump in here. So if we look at the reviews, what I've done again is Steam purchase. There's only playtime over 10 hours. So anybody that's played it less than 10 hours, their review doesn't count in this case. But again, 97% of the 332 user reviews for this game are positive. So vast majority are positive. Without a doubt, again, a very high degree of positives, a very good success there. You don't normally see high 90s like this on a game that wasn't well received, it wasn't well sold. So obviously this did do very well. And I would imagine, my guess would be that the player counts are actually reflective of the number of people that actually played it, as opposed to the much larger number of people that bought it and are intending to play it, like the old curse of the Steam backlog, like, oh yeah, I want to get this so I can play it later, and then they never do. That seems to be a thing, and that's probably where a lot of people wound up with this game. So it's like in their backlog, and maybe they'll get to it, and that would not be a bad deal for their player counts either. So their player counts will remain consistent, and in fact, I can show you some evidence of that when we go over to that. So let's just take a look here. So on review, or on release, 6,700 players, and it started dropping from there. It's been dropping and dropping, and at this point, you know, the peak during these more recent numbers is like 28, 24, and it bottomed out. The peak bottomed out at like 2,300, but then it started to go back up, and in fact, yesterday, or rather today, it's actually, you know, close to 2,900 or 2,800, a little over 2,800. So it's growing, and that could be also weekend numbers. Obviously, Saturdays and Sundays are more popular, but again, Friday numbers were better than Thursday and Wednesday. So we are seeing a growth there. We'll see if that continues on. But I think that these numbers are going to maintain their stability fairly well, just because this is the kind of game that does, like I said, go in your backlog, and then you get to it when you get to it. And so you're going to see more people pick it up over time and play it. I think you're going to see that be a thing. And also, it's got great replayability because it's Tomb Raider. I mean, how many times have people played Tomb Raider? You know, I mean, they always go back to it. And I can't tell you how many people that I know of that go back and play these kind of games over and over again just to get a better experience. And so, you know, that's going to be a factor as well, simply because it's going to be in their backlog, and then it's going to be in their library, so they'll see it and go back to it. I'm pretty sure you'll see these numbers be better than some of the more modern games, and even modern Tomb Raider games are not going to be seeing the player counts, the consistency of player counts over time. That's at least my prediction on that. So yeah, Tomb Raider 1-3, very good success. Like I said, the big thing was console. I mean, I'm mainly focused on Steam numbers, but Again, they had reported like millions of copies sold, and it was a phenomenal success. So hopefully they'll continue on with this track and maintain the classic Tomb Raider games going forward, and maybe they can do more like this in the near future. I know, it might warrant a remaster of 4. I don't know. It would be interesting to see if they continue on with this and go for the other Tomb Raider games and continue on with classic Lara. But yeah, that's about all I got for you guys. Hope you enjoyed the vid, and if you like these kind of videos, give it a like, and I will talk to you guys later.